So it looks like this is already kicking off to be a nasty custody battle. Now, according to People magazine, Halle is requesting sole legal and physical custody of Halo. She is asking the judge to order that her ex, DDG, not be allowed visitation with his son.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. My name is Moral of the Story, and for today's story, we are going over the DDG and Halle Bailey breakup. Yes, the mermaid and the dude who looked like he's about to rate your food from 1 to 10. If you're new to the channel, like I said, my name is Moral of the Story, and here we do a lot of commentary on pop culture, politics. We do reaction videos. I did a body cam reaction from my last video if you want to check that out.
Throw up the rock, baby, because we gonna die a real rock star. You see this?
Oh my.
I put an eye on it.
Did she just smack her titty? And we just have a lot of fun here. So if you're interested and you like that type of content, subscribe, like, leave a comment, and help your girl out.
We're gonna try it and rate it 1 to 10.
So if you don't know who Halle Bailey is, she is a singer, actress. She was the mermaid in The Little Mermaid, and she used to be in a duo group with her sister, Chloe x Halle. I believe she's a protege of Beyonce. I think she's signed to her label or whatnot. Either Rock Nation or Beyonce's label, one of the two, I don't know. But now she's a solo artist. She does her own music. Chloe does her own music. And yeah, she was The Little Mermaid. DDG, he was a YouTuber. I think he started his YouTube channel back in 2016, I want to say. He's been a YouTuber around Soluminati, Flight, around those different types of people. And now he's an upcoming rapper and streamer. He's been pretty popular. So a lot of people want to say that DDG pretty much got his fame from Halle Bailey, but I think a lot of the times he kind of just did it on his own. I'm not saying Halle did not help him out, but I am saying I think he kind of made it on his own. And same thing with Halle. She's always been a big star. But they've broken up. They've been broken up since, I want to say, early 2024, maybe that was. And there's a lot of discourse happening right now because things have gotten heated. So Halle and DDG's relationship started back in 2022, and there was rumors about them dating whenever they popped out at an Usher event, and then they made it official when DDG pretty much gave Halle Bailey a birthday shout out on his Instagram a couple months later, and it officially, they were a thing, they were a title, they were an item, and everybody loved them. Well, I say everybody, for the most part, or that actually might be wrong too. A lot of people liked them and a lot of people did not. Like I was saying before, people thought that DDG was just clout chasing and kind of using Halle as like, someone to kind of boost his career. Not saying that he didn't actually like her, but just saying like because Halle is such a big celebrity, he can kind of ride the wave a little bit. So a lot of people are like,
why would Halle be dating this broke boy and this streamer and this YouTuber, and she could do so much better?
And hey, maybe she could have, and maybe these allegations and what's been going out proves that. But to me, I thought they were a cute couple, even though, I didn't like him at first either, I'm gonna be honest.
No.
I didn't like him at first either, but he kind of started growing on me a little bit when I started to get into the streamer space and I watched a little bit more of his content a little bit more. But regardless though, I can see where people are coming from. Fast forward to December of 2023. They had a son, Halo. Cute little Halo.
Get that kiss. Get that kiss. Hey!
But in the midst of the son being born and Halle giving birth, there were still certain things that were supposedly happening behind the scenes, that they were, rumors of issues and problems that were going on. But that goes with any celebrity relationship because we all nosy as hell. So a little less than a year later, October of 2024, DDG announced that they had broken up.
DDG, born Daryl Dwayne Granberry Jr., announced the news on his Instagram stories Thursday, saying the split comes after much reflection and heartfelt conversations. Adding, the decision was not easy, but we believe it's the best path forward for both of us. I cherish the time we've spent together and the love we shared. Despite the changes in our relationship, our love for each other remains deep and true. We are still best friends and adore each other.
And it was kind of a shock to a lot of people because once again, they were seen everywhere, right? And everywhere Halle went, DDG was. Halle was also on DDG's channel, you know, his YouTube vlogs and everything. So it was kind of a shock because it went from months with them not really saying much of anything. And then all out of the blue, DDG dropped something on his Instagram, which you will see happens a lot. DDG is always posting his business. Now, once again, he is a YouTuber. So that comes with it. He's a streamer. He's a vlogger. So that kind of comes with the territory. But he will get caught up a lot by always posting something. He came out and it was a nice post, pretty much saying that they amicably broke up and that they are willing to co-parent. And I would assume that Halle had something to do with this post as well. I could not see him posting this without her consent. It just didn't seem like they were in a bad place at that time. And it just seemed like they were going to just be friends. You know, that's what the post said, and that they were going to be able to co-parent just fine. But of course, people were like, this is not going to happen. This is not true. Something else happened. Somebody cheated on somebody. Of course, and they're going to say it's DDG. Or DDG cheated on her or something else happened. And they just didn't really believe the post. Now, going back. Earlier in 2023, before the official breakup, there were rumors going around. And Ruby Rose, if you don't know who Ruby Rose is, she's a OnlyFans girl, a porn star or something. Or did she change? Did she give her? Wait, is she a Muslim now? Or is that somebody else?
Do Muslims, eat 30 days? Do Muslims not eat every 30 days during Ramadan?
During Ramadan.
Oh, no. That's Brittany Renner, however you say her name. That's a different person. Anyways, regardless, Ruby Rose came out and allegedly was posting these DMs that were between her and DDG, alluding that he was cheating on Halle whenever they were together, because Ruby and DDG used to date before. And so there were these rumors that were coming out, and then Halle came out and said, don't believe, you know, what you see on the internet. Not everything is true. So she was pretty much vouching for DDG, saying this wasn't a real thing. This did not happen. This was not the reason why they broke up, kind of saying that. And, but you know, people still weren't buying it. They're going to have their own opinions and their own outlook. Also, DDG dropped a song called Famous. And he was low-key shading Halle for kissing somebody during her set on Being with the Little Mermaid. I think there was a line talking about like filming a movie. Now you kissing dudes. You know I love you, but I don't know what I'd do if another man touched my boo or something like that. Okay, my thing is, he's so corny. Well, okay, I don't want to crap on him too much because I understand. I mean, you're a artist, you're a rapper or singer, whatever that might be, and you make music. If you are real, right, you're going to make music about things that pertain to you and things that you have gone through in life. And I do think, was it kind of insecure? Yeah, a little bit. But should he be crapped on for being vulnerable and saying how he felt about the situation during that time? I don't think so. And also, I feel like if anybody else was in that position, I feel like there's a lot of spouses who have their partners who are actresses or are actors, and they have to do sexual scenes and kiss other people all the time. They might feel a little weird about that too, especially if you think you found somebody that might be your potential, you know, partner for life. And it seemed like they were very locked in like that. So to sit here and be like, oh, DDG is so insecure and stuff like that. Once again, was it kind of insecure? Possibly, yes. But I mean, should this be a reason why people are like, see, this is why Halle should have broke up with him because he isn't the right person or whatever? No, I think that is a normal human emotion to go through whenever you see someone that you are in love with or have love for being intimate with somebody else. It's not you. Now, I do want to add that there has also been rumors of Halle actually cheating on DDG, and people have been alluding that that was the initial reason why they broke up. There has been no real claims to that. DDG has not alluded to that or has not actually formally come out and said that. Halle has not come out and said that. So that is just word of mouth, social media, gossip, whatever that might be. But it's the same when it came down to DDG cheating on Halle with Ruby Rose. It's the same with whoever this mystery man. Maybe it's Brent Faiyaz. I've been hearing that too. That's also a rumor that's been going on recently. Regardless, nonetheless, I just wanted to put that out there that they have both been accused on cheating on each other. The main reason why this has been blowing up recently on social media is because as of May 2025, Halle has filed for a temporary restraining order against DDG. And I guess the details are kind of wishy-washy. I wouldn't say anything is set in stone, but there has been photos that have been coming out and allegations of him being abusive mentally, physically, try to control her finances, control pretty much a lot of things that she, wanted to have her own self-autonomy over. Looking at the court documents, she says he slammed her face into a steering wheel, chipping her tooth. It also says she described the pattern of verbal abuse and gaslighting. We love to use that word, gaslighting. And she also claims he tried to control her financially, like I've already said before. And then it says, and after the breakup, he allegedly used his platform to target her, engaging fans to harass her online. So like I was saying before, he is a streamer. He pulls a pretty good amount of views, and he talks about certain things. At one point in time, I feel like they were both very mutually respectful to each other when it came down to social media. I think sometime last year, DDG went on a Kai Cenat stream, and for Kai Cenat's Mafia-thon, he was a guest star, and he brought Halo on stream, and Haley was not comfortable with that.
Oh, what that mean? What does that mean?
He like processing it.
Okay.
Processing it.
All right.
And she went on social media and she tweeted about it and saying how, she had no say in this matter, and that she just didn't feel comfortable with her son being on stream, because there's a lot of things that happen on that stream. I'm not saying that Kai Cenat is a bad streamer or anything like that, but I'm saying it is very active, and should a child necessarily be there? It's for you to decide. But as a mother, I can see myself not really necessarily being okay with that either, especially if I didn't know, right? But also, I do want to say that there has been a lot of discourse in the media and headlines that really just focus mainly on Halle Bailey's perspective. And I feel like that's always been a thing, because essentially Halle is saying that DDG has gotten his fans to harass her. But for many, many, many months before this, DDG was the main one being harassed, right? Everyone was on Halle's side. And whether you agree with that or not is fine. But people, well, not with the harassment, of course, no one should harass. But if you agree with being on Halle's side or not, that's fine. But to receive harassment is still never okay. And so I understand that Halle has probably received harassment as well. But for the very longest time, DDG was being crapped on the media and in the headlines for the very longest, right? And he used to always complain about that too. Females will always be saying crap about him. Nobody really liked him for a long time. I think they kind of liked the relationship and how they bounced off of each other, but there was always some type of narrative on DDG being the bum, right? And Halle just dragging him along. So they both have received backlash in the media for a long time, right? And in my opinion, maybe things have been turning a little bit now, but prior to the situation that's been blowing up in May, I've been seeing DDG getting more backlash than anything else. But maybe that's my pipeline. Maybe that's just the way my social media is been presented to me, and how my timeline and algorithm is presented to me. But that's what I've been seeing. Going back to the court documents, she said that DDG slammed her head into a steering wheel and chipped her tooth. Well, there's evidence of that. There's also, evidence that she has at least posted of a chipped tooth, right? There's also apparently, like I said, he was physically abusive. She has posted photos of bruises and has claimed that it's come from him. So nothing is set in stone. Once again, the court has to decide whether this is true, whether this is fact or not. But at least I will say there has been documentation. And apparently she did report this a couple months ago. That is one thing I do think that will help her case. She did report this a couple months ago. I just don't think that she was public about it until now. Also, the submitted photo evidence that Halle posted about the bruises, and there were certain text messages as well. These photographs is what granted Halle Bailey the temporary sole custody over their son. So as of now, DDG must stay, I think, like 100 yards away from both Halle and Halo, which I'm sure is very difficult for him. And I'm sure it's also difficult for Halle, because why would you want the father of your child? Why would you want this for your baby, your child, your son, right? For the parents to not only just be separated, but to dislike each other so much. And then on top of that, there's social media that's involved. There are people who are weighing their own opinions, like me, and other people on, Twitter, Instagram, you have the Breakfast Club, you have the Shade Room, all of these different platforms, journalisms, and websites. They're just talking about them, and so that has to add a lot to the intensity of the situation. And I just feel for both of them. I don't know who's in the right, who's in the wrong for this, but I do understand that it is very hard to co-parent. I can only imagine, at least. And at the end of the day, the baby's gonna reap the worst of the situation than anybody else. But what are your thoughts? What do you think? Are you on Halle's side or your DDG side? Do you not care? Or you just understand where both sides are coming from? I don't know. I just feel like social media makes everything worse. And when it's not just your family and just your spouse and your child weighing in on the subject, going through the situation, now you have everybody else wanting to put in their 2 cents, which can make things 10 times worse, especially when you're an influencer, right? Coming from the streamer side, coming from the music side, there's a lot of things that come into play. And I just everybody pray for Halle. Hopefully that, at the end of the day, they can work things out for the better of their son and maybe make the family work again. But if you like the content, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And we are almost at 2,000 subscribers. I could not appreciate you guys even more than I do right now. Hopefully we can hit that 2,000 subscribers pretty soon, and I wouldn't be able to do it without you. But yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.